Good morning, everyone. Um, Today, God has asked me to share some visions that I've had about Jesus leaving heaven. And I had another vision. This is in a series of visions on Saturday night, which prompted me to release this. And I saw Jesus, just a flash of light, and he was robed in glorious attire, and he was full of royalty and power and authority, like he would, like we read of in Revelations when he's crowned King of Kings and Lord of Lords. It was that glory that was upon him. And I had this knowing that it was the next image in this series that I received. And I saw the armies of heaven leaving heaven. Not like it's showing in this image behind me here. They were like in a column, right? Like maybe 30 or so people wide and going in a column, sort of curving up towards heaven. And at the front was, I think, like an angel on a horse, not Jesus on the horse, coming out of heaven. And so this is connected to several other visions that I've had of Jesus, actually. These other visions were of Jesus. Maybe 5 years ago, it started with Jesus being leaving heaven, coming out of the door, and he was putting on a garment at one point. The first one was just him stepping through the threshold of the door. And then the second vision I had several months later was him putting on, he had half a jacket on, leaving heaven, and coming through the door. And then the next one I had was him fully through the door. And he had already sort of like stepped out of the door that has like no base underneath the door. He's just like literally, it's falling out of heaven, sort of. But he's sort of jumping out, um, coming down very gracefully. And then now on Saturday, having this vision of the armies coming out and Jesus fully robed in this like glorious golden type white garment, similar to what he's wearing there, but fully over his head and down to his feet. Um, and I mean, the truth is, it's just exciting that Jesus is coming in it. As I'm seeing these coming more and more and more, it feels like this is like just getting approaching, more and more. And then I had another vision of the armies of God. And in Armageddon, I just realized this morning when I look up Armageddon, the word means the Valley of Hinnon. And so what I saw was I was in the army of God in this vision, and there was all dressed in medieval armor around like mountains surrounding this Valley of Hinnon. And all around on the mountains was just full of the armies of God. And like I could see right to the other side where the other armies were. And then, so that was the visions that I had. And then I was about to share these visions and share about XRP. And God was like, just wait, there's more to this story that you haven't seen. Um, so he had me spend some time this morning in prayer. And as I was spending time in prayer this morning, I had this other vision. And this vision, I was in the Valley of Hinnon with the armies of the enemy. And what I saw is this image here. Just going to adjust it for you here. So I saw this. And except I was down in with the army. And Jesus was not on the horse, but ChatGPT came up with this. Um, but Jesus was just coming down, like floating down. Um, and the amazing part is that he was coming down. And you would expect that this would be like like a normal king would be glorious and pompous, but he was not at all that way. He was coming with sorrow in his heart, and I could feel that sorrow. But I was also so blown away by the glory of heaven being opened up, and it was far brighter than what this image shows you. And just the glory, the feeling of that glorious power, but it's so loving and kind and gentle. And I knew like the heart of Jesus was saying, like, like I love these people. He's coming to destroy this army, and yet he's saying, I love them. And that was the attitude he was coming with. And what was so amazing is that as this army sees Jesus, and before I share this, I asked, like, why is this army here? Why are they like, and I see you in your glory. Like, how can anyone not want to just bow and worship? And I'm like, what is wrong with this people that are against you? And he says, they've never, ever known me. And that's so connected to scripture. It says they haven't known me. They haven't been able to yield to him. They did not want to be ruled. They did not want to bow to him in their lives. And so they've never known him. It is just this simple. But on this day, the next thing that happened is as these armies of men, and there are also devils there, but I was amongst the armies of men that were against God. When they see him in his glory, every weapon was just put on the ground, and the entire army bowed in worship. They knelt. Just like it says, every knee will bow and every tongue will confess that he is Lord. Because when they see that he's coming in glory and power, but it's not in I'm going to lord over you and I'm going to rule you and I'm going to, no, that's not the attitude Jesus comes with. He comes with an attitude of, I gave my life for you. And he does not want this day. He doesn't want anybody in that field against him. He does not want that. It is not the desire of the heart of God because he died for them just as much as he died for you and me. He desires mercy. That's what Jesus wants. He wants to show mercy. But eventually, people will not submit. Then he has no choice. But this is not Jesus' choice. He does not want this. But I just thought it was so beautiful that that's how it ends. It ends in glory and worship. And I mean, like, I don't know how else you can do when you see Jesus coming out of heaven, like, and the heavens are opened up and it's just like amazing love. You feel like there's nothing else you can do except fall down and worship him. Um, so that was the thing that Jesus wanted me to add to this. Um, he's so righteous and gentle about it. Like, man. And then so God said I could share about XRP. So I invested in this coin originally when Brandon Biggs mentioned it about 2 years ago. Um, And at this point, I hadn't had a personal revelation about it. So I was not sure. And so then when it was going up and down dramatically, I got quite stressed about the coin. And so I was praying about it. And God said this word to me about XRP. He said, trusting in XRP is trusting in me. And I was like, okay, if you say I can trust in this like I can trust in you because you're behind it, essentially, then okay, I believe that. Um, And of course, we're not trusting in XRP or money in place of God ever. That is not what he was trying to say. He was trying to say that I am behind it so you can trust it. Um, and after this, in the early part of this year, 25, I was given a vision of a couple price points that ended up hitting exactly. One it dropped to, and then one it went right up to the penny. And I didn't invest properly because I was not really fully persuaded of these visions that God was giving me exactly. And, I'm still on the journey now. So I was very early in the journey then. And in any event, that was as far as XRP price predictions, God has not given me personal revelation about that other than like I've seen some numbers that are not really high, not as high as other people have seen, but I don't think those other higher numbers maybe are farther on. But I have seen a crash. I don't know numbers again. I have seen a severe crash that's coming. I think that's coming for everything. That's the way I feel about it. What I've seen and understood. Anyway, I'm not endorsing any investment at all based on these are just my personal convictions of God as revealed to me, and I'm not a licensed financial advisor, so I cannot and will not make recommendations. I share it only for entertainment purposes. Now, some people have given me negative feedback about saying this statement, but it's actually legally required because I'm not a financial advisor, so I can't actually give any financial advice, and I'm not intending to, rather just sharing what God has given me and what he's asking me to share, and that's what I'm trying to do, is follow his word. So I hope that's blessed everyone. Thank you. Take care, bye.